Hello guys, and welcome back to my channel here on Jake's Gardening, and today I will be giving you just a general update on my plants in the pots and the plants in the garden and everything. Just an update to tell you what's going on for everything. But anyway, I would like you to subscribe if you haven't already, and please leave a like on this video. And if you have any questions at all, I would like you to leave a comment in the comment section below. But without further ado, let's get on to the video. Okay, so first off, let me flip you around here so I can start showing you around. Okay, so here are my larger tomato plants in the pots. I'm sorry, we just had a bit of an interruption. But anyway, here are my larger tomato plants that will never leave their pots. They will stay in here until they're done producing fruit. Well, I could keep them through the winter if I could keep them in a greenhouse, which would be nice because they could keep producing through the whole winter. But now let's check out my giant pumpkin plants. The reason there are only 4 is because one of them has been put in the ground. The one in the half-gallon container is currently out in the garden, because its pot was much smaller than these guys' pots, and it would have gotten root bound in its pot because the pot was just a little bit too small for it to stay in the ground for too long. But these ones are going to go in the ground in a little while. This one is my best one that's currently in the pot. These others all were planted last, and they came up last, therefore they are smaller, but they will do fine. And out of these 3 that were planted in a later date than this one and the one out in the garden are much smaller, but this one here is the largest. This one came up second, and then that one was third. It took forever to come up. But now let's check out the smaller tomatoes. Okay, and here they are. They're looking pretty decent, except for that one back there. And then that one, too, is not looking too great. That one's sort of okay. And then these are some sweet peppers that will be going in the ground, well, in time. But I think that they should go in the ground now, honestly. But I'll have to ask my parents, because those ones there are not mine. But here are the lilies. They are done flowering for the season. And, well, at least I think so. But they have been transplanted into larger pots. Then we have the basil, which is looking better than it was 2 weeks ago. And then we have our mint. But now I've shown you all there is to see and hear. Well, as far as plants go, let's check out the garden. Okay, so here we are, and here are the peppers. That one's not doing nearly as well. Actually, I think that one's dead. But we're gonna get some more spicy peppers and put them in the ground. But these 2 are looking like they're kind of coming back from whatever happened to them. Then there's that tomato plant there. There's that one, and then there's that one. That's my least favorite. And then there's all our garden stuff, soil and mulch. Then here we have our beans, and these black beans seem to be doing better than they were in the last video. And by the way, sorry for the delay in the videos. I was fairly decently busy for a few of those days, and I just didn't really get around to making a video. But now let's go check on the corn. Okay, so here we are at the corn, and here it is. It's about half a foot tall at the shortest. I mean, not the shortest, the tallest. And it's doing fairly decent. We're gonna plant some more where it didn't come up. And then there's that row. And then, some of the other rows, for some reason, just none of the corn came up. Pretty much, none of it at all. But other than that, it's doing good. The corn that did come up is doing great. But I hope it does well. And anyway, let's go check out my giant pumpkin. Okay, so here it is in the ground, and it seemed to grow faster in the ground. Well, the reason that leaf is kind of browned up a little bit is because I was misting it to keep the heat from damaging it, but in turn it did end up burning a little bit. So I stopped misting it and it ended up doing fine. I just had to let it harden off before I could stop misting. But by the way, this leaf here is bigger than my hand. That is so crazy. It's way bigger than my big moons were at this stage. Like 4 times the size. Anyway, now you've seen that, and it's Saran Wrap wind shelter that I will be upgrading pretty soon because I'm not very happy with it. I had to do this very quickly because it was about to get really windy, and it wouldn't have been good for the plant if I had not done this. Bad things would have happened, and nothing good would have come out of it if I had not put that wrap around. Well, maybe it would have been fine, but I don't think so. So I'm very glad I put the wrap around. But enough about that. Let's check out my other pumpkins. Okay, so here we are at the first one of my big moons that I will show you today. And I will tell you why those bamboo skewers are where they are in a second. I'm just using them to guide the vines and basically kind of hold the vine in place. I'm not stabbing the vine through or anything. I'm just using them as a way to guide the vine and hold it in place when it gets really windy. And now you can see there's a few secondary vines trailing along down here. Not so much down here, but mostly back there. And then push it down, pull back a few leaves. We got 2 flowers that are about to open, and I'll give you an update when they do, or maybe I won't. Depends on how busy I am or how the day goes when they open. But anyway, let me show you a few other of my plants. A few more of my plants. But anyway, here we have this one, which appears to be doing okay. It's not doing as good as that other one. And I'll show you 3 more of my plants. So here we have this one, which is in a very similar condition as the other one I just showed you. And then we have this one. Ooh, sorry about the wind. It's kind of making it a bit hard. It's a bit hard to hear me, I assume. But anyway, here we have this one. And then we have here's my watermelons that will be going in the ground today. But now I will show you my final plant that is still alive. And here it is. This is my largest plant. Its main vine is about 3 feet long. And it has a lot more secondaries. As you can see, there's that one. And then there's one here, and then there's one there, and then there, and then there. But there's a bunch more secondaries on this one that I can give you a closer look. As you can see here, secondary. And then we have, pretty sure we have another one down along here somewhere. There's that one, and then there's a few others on the other side. See that secondary, and then there's another one right there, and then there should be another one there. I don't know, can't really see. But anyway, that's that for this plant here. But anyway, I'll get back to the house and we'll talk about a few things. Okay, so the reason that I only have 5 big moon plants left is because when they were smaller, the wind killed them. Just so you know, if you want to grow pumpkins in a windy place, I highly suggest putting up a wind shelter and heavier mulch than what I've got on. I recommend wood chip mulch or even rocks. You can put rocks around the mound and they will hold the moisture better than nothing. But anyway, I also had another problem. The other problem that I had was with leaf miners. I just couldn't get rid of them until I figured out how to scrape the leaves. What I would do is I can do a little bit of a demonstration with my Atlantic Giants here in a little bit. Okay, so here they are. They don't have any leaf miners themselves, but one of them did. I'll show you. It was this one right here. I can show you their trails. There's leaf miner trails right there. And what I would do is I would come along the leaf like this, and I would just scrape over right where it was. Put a little bit of pressure, but not too much, so I don't shred the leaf. I just cut off the top of the leaf, right over where the caterpillar is that's eating the leaf, and then I take the caterpillar out, and then I squish it. But anyway, I'll talk about a few more things. Okay, so I've had a lot of problems with the wind, and I've had problems with stinking leaf miners, and I've had other problems with it being too cold. But the reason that I highly suggest that if you live in a place like somewhere further north, I highly suggest you don't put your pumpkin plants in the ground until at least mid-May, because it's not very good to put them in the ground when it's getting below 50 degrees at night. I guess you could do that. I did do that, and my plants are still okay, but they got off to a slower start than I wanted or had hoped, because I put them in the ground April 7th, which is way too early in my opinion. So it depends on where you live. If you live further south, where I am, in Roswell, New Mexico, it's far south, and right now it's about it's the end of May right now. It's June 2nd. June 2nd, so that means that it's nice and warm. It doesn't really get below 60 degrees at night, and I don't have any problems with the cold anymore. And the wind problem has gone away, or at least died down a lot, since it's moved further on in the year. So anyway, just those are some problems that you should look for. And also another thing that I did that I did wrong was that I put my plants in the ground without really properly preparing it. At the end of this video, there's going to be up here or here somewhere, I'm going to link it to my old video of where I put my plants into the ground. I did not fill the holes where I put them in the ground with water, which is a mistake that I made, which I will not make anymore. But anyway, those are just a few things that you should watch out for, a few tips, a few tricks, and ideas of and things to avoid in the future. But anyway, I hope you enjoyed this video. Please subscribe and leave a like. I will see you next time.